We all feel it, don't we? That relentless, invisible pressure that whispers, "You're not doing enough." It manifests as a compulsive need to be constantly busy. We find ourselves with packed schedules, inboxes overflowing like a burst dam, and a never-ending to-do list that, despite our best efforts, only seems to grow. We've been conditioned to wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, convinced that constant movement, constant activity, must equal meaningful progress and success. We often hear people proudly declare, "I'm so busy," as if it's the ultimate indicator of their worth. But what if this pervasive culture of busyness is, in fact, an elaborate illusion? What if we're all caught in a relentless cycle of motion, moving at breakneck speed, yet ultimately getting nowhere truly significant? What if our modern world, with its relentless demands and digital distractions, has cunningly tricked us into believing that fake productivity, a mere performance of being busy, is the same as genuine, impactful accomplishment? Today, we're not just observing this phenomenon. We're diving deep into the insidious trap of constant busyness, how it's stealthily stealing our most valuable resource, our focused attention, and why true, meaningful productivity isn't about doing more, but rather about doing what genuinely matters. Let's conduct a quick self-assessment. How many of these scenarios resonate with your daily reality? You're sending or replying to work emails long after dinner, sometimes well past midnight. Your digital calendar is a chaotic Tetris game of back-to-back meetings, leaving no room for breath. You find yourself subtly, or not so subtly, bragging about working on 3, 4, even 5 projects simultaneously. You feel a constant undercurrent of overwhelm, a low-grade hum of anxiety. Yet despite all this frenetic activity, you often end your days feeling strangely unfulfilled, as if you've exerted immense effort but moved nothing of real consequence forward. This isn't just about the dedication of hard work. It's about the very performance of hard work. Modern societal and corporate culture, consciously or unconsciously, often rewards the visibility of activity over the actual output of meaningful results. If you're consistently seen responding to messages within minutes, if you're always on and available, if you attend every single meeting, whether it's relevant to you or not, you're often perceived as the quintessential productive, dedicated, and indispensable employee. But this perception often leads us into a perilous cycle of what renowned author Cal Newport calls shallow work. These are tasks that are relatively easy to measure, easy to do, but contribute little to no real value toward your most significant goals. Think about it. Endless rounds of replying to emails that could have been consolidated, attending meetings where your presence isn't truly necessary, meticulously organizing your desktop icons, or endlessly tidying digital files. These activities feel productive because they keep us in perpetual motion. They give us the illusion of progress, but in reality, they rarely move the needle on our most important, high-impact objectives. They are the busy work that masquerades as genuine effort. So, why do so many of us, despite knowing better, fall headfirst into this alluring trap? It's not just a flaw in corporate structures. It's deeply wired into our psychology and reinforced by societal pressures. First, there's an unspoken fear of not being busy enough. It's a fear of missing out, or FOMO, that has subtly extended beyond our social lives and infiltrated our professional existence. If we're not visibly occupied, if we have moments of quiet contemplation, are we truly important? Are we falling behind our peers? The very idea of being idle, of taking a reflective pause, feels almost sacrilegious in our hyper-driven, always-on world. There's a pervasive belief that if you're not striving, you're stagnating. Second, busyness provides an incredibly convenient and comfortable excuse. If you're perpetually swamped, overloaded, or drowning in tasks, you don't have to confront or tackle the truly difficult, high-leverage tasks that demand deep, sustained thought, intense effort, and often a willingness to struggle. It's objectively easier, and less mentally taxing, to quickly fire off 50 email replies than to spend 2 uninterrupted hours wrestling with a complex problem that could genuinely transform your project or business. Those emails, those quick wins feel productive, giving us a false sense of accomplishment. Third, and perhaps most subtly insidious, constant activity offers us a powerful, albeit often false, sense of control in an increasingly chaotic and unpredictable world. When everything around us feels overwhelming, when we lack clarity on our biggest priorities, the act of ticking off small, inconsequential tasks creates an immediate, tangible illusion of progress. Each checkmark, each rapid-fire response, gives us a tiny hit of dopamine, a fleeting sensation of accomplishment. This positive reinforcement, however minor, compulsively reinforces the behavior, even when the tasks we're completing are fundamentally unimportant or contribute little to our long-term objectives. It's a behavioral loop that's hard to break. The pervasive cost of this ceaseless, often meaningless, busyness is far more profound than just a few wasted hours. It fundamentally erodes our well-being and capability. Firstly, it leads inevitably to burnout. When you're locked in a continuous state of motion, perpetually engaged in tasks that don't genuinely advance your most important goals, exhaustion becomes your constant companion. The inherent joy, the passion, and the sense of purpose slowly drain out of your work and insidiously out of your life itself. It's not just physical fatigue, it's a deep existential weariness. Secondly, and critically for anyone aspiring to innovation or excellence, fake productivity actively kills creativity and innovation. True deep work, the kind that leads to groundbreaking ideas, elegant solutions, and transformative insights, absolutely demands sustained, uninterrupted focus. It requires extended periods where your mind can wander, connect disparate ideas, and immerse itself fully in a single challenge. When your attention is constantly fragmented, when you're pulled in a dozen different directions by notifications and perceived urgencies, your brain never has the necessary space, the quiet moments, to consolidate information, solve complex problems, or enter that coveted flow state where true innovation truly blossoms. You're too busy reacting to ever truly create. And perhaps most profoundly, this illusion of busyness robs us of meaning and genuine fulfillment. If your days are filled predominantly with shallow tasks that do not genuinely align with your core values, your long-term aspirations, or your deepest sense of purpose, then you're not actually building the life you truly desire. You're merely reacting to external stimuli, serving the demands of others, or pursuing trivial wins. You're busy, yes, undeniably busy, but you are not truly living a life of conscious choice and impactful creation. You're adrift in a sea of activity without a clear destination. So, how do we begin to untangle ourselves from this insidious web of fake productivity? The journey begins not with doing more, but with a fundamental shift in our mindset and a conscious reevaluation of our daily habits. 1. Embrace deep work relentlessly. Begin by identifying your most important tasks, the ones that genuinely move the needle for your biggest goals. These are your deep work tasks. Then, and this is crucial, proactively block out dedicated, uninterrupted time for them in your schedule. Turn off all notifications. Close unnecessary browser tabs and applications. Treat this dedicated time as sacred, as non-negotiable. Even a focused 60 to 90 minutes of deep work can yield more significant results than an entire day spent flitting between shallow tasks and distractions. 2. Ruthlessly prioritize with clarity. Before you dive into your day, ask yourself this potent question. If I could only accomplish one single thing today, what would be the most impactful? Identify that one thing and make it your absolute first priority. Complete it. Then and only then ask yourself, what's the next most important thing? Learn the empowering art of saying no, politely but firmly, to tasks, meetings, or requests that simply do not align with your true, high-leverage priorities. Your no to the unimportant creates space for your yes to the truly essential. 3. Intentionally schedule downtime. Understand this. Rest is not merely a reward you earn for being exhaustingly busy. It is an absolutely critical, non-negotiable component of sustainable, high-level productivity. Downtime allows your brain the crucial space to process information, consolidate learning, recharge its cognitive batteries, and engage in the diffuse thinking that often leads to creative breakthroughs. Schedule genuine breaks. Carve out time for being in nature or immerse yourself in hobbies that authentically relax and rejuvenate you. This isn't wasted time. It's an indispensable investment in your long-term focus, well-being, and capacity for truly productive work. Ultimately, true productivity isn't about being in a constant state of frantic motion. It's about being profoundly effective. It's about infusing your days with intentionality, cultivating unwavering focus, and dedicating your precious energy to the work that genuinely moves you forward, not merely keeps you spinning your wheels. So, I invite you to pause today, take a deep breath, and genuinely ask yourself, are you genuinely productive, creating real impact, or are you just perpetually busy, caught in the trap of endless activity? I'm eager to hear your insights and experiences. Let me know in the comments below. What's one specific thing you're going to consciously stop doing to reduce your fake productivity starting today? And if this video illuminated something for you, if it sparked a new way of thinking, please consider subscribing to Black Hole Thinkers. We're here to provide more insights that challenge the status quo and empower you to reclaim your focus, your time, and ultimately, your life. Thanks for watching.